Aunt loves him.
I wouldn't let it all win 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Feddle's carriage for the joyride?
Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sailed to
All right, we're back, and honestly, I don't know what we're doing again other than that trick bag thing that we just got to. So let's go ahead and start and see what we can accomplish, shall we? Okay, so should be inventory, should be A. Alright, sure, whatever. There's the pyramid, the teleporter pyramid.
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a
Reasoning
random
of
stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
Oh my god, what? Nice. Win a series of rock, paper. Ah! Nice. Oof. I think we won. Won the argument.
Oh, these are strange times for magic, aren't they? Source in Sicile, so they say. Oh, it's a horror. But I'm glad you source hunters are here to help us. Be on your way then.
Using a pyramid teleported you to the other pyramid. Give them to your party members, or drop them on the ground. You want to return to instantly.
Flowers stink much longer. Dear will smell this lady from a field away. I'll save a leg of something good for when she begins to starve.
All right, comrade.
Don't
Nothing to
just
see.
stand there.
Let's clear
Go.
out. Give the lady of the house
Away
a little
with you.
privacy.
Oh, okay.
What are you still doing here?
This is
Begone!
Can't believe we won those rock, paper, scissors sessions.
Out now, if you please. This room is private.
Okay, I'm out. I'm out.
Don't just stand there. Go.
Okay, we'll call that good. Well, that went interesting to say the least.
Meow.
Oh, you can definitely tell she's feminine.
Oh, golly gosh. One who knows the highways and byways of silly old Sicile with the easy elegance of a puss with her tail in the air. I do declare such a sight is rather rare around here. But where are my manners? I am Maxine, and you must be one of those hunters one hears so much about. Charmed, I'm sure.
Okay. All right.
I'm the mayor's cat, don't you know?
That much we got.
Raised on velvets and viands of most exquisite varieties. Maxine rhymes with queen, after all, and dearest.
I guess.
Hardly a coincidence. But of course, darling.
Uh-huh.
Be my guest. Oh, this quaint little town is a tad too parochial for one of my more urbane tastes. But one has to make do, hasn't one? The fresh sea air does go to great lengths to invigorate one's spirit, that much I'll admit. And it is rather jolly to watch the ships sail in laden with all kinds of exotic wares.
Yeah.
Full of the little treats the mayor likes to spoil me with. Darling man, he dotes on me so. Heavens forbid.
Yeah.
No, fear is rather too strong a term there, Hunter dearest. The predator's instinct is a trait we share, you and I. And though those rancid ramblers may not be quite as easy to put to the claw as mice are, I assure you, they are just as easily outwitted.
Well, they have no brains.
Oh, he's a darling old Tom, isn't he? Pours O's in love with me, and who can blame him? The feeling's, well, it's rather mutual, actually. But that
Really?
simply doesn't have a penny to his name.
Oh my God, really over money.
Shallow as a spaniel. I can't but admit my love does not come unconditionally. What if we were to have kittens, he and I? They'd jolly well starve, wouldn't they, with an alley cat for a papa? Oh dear Sam, he's such a good old bean. But he does rather reside at the bottom of the scratching pole, doesn't he? And dear me, he
Ouch.
must have at least a mite of standards.
Sadness.
A sauce hunter. Oh, what a sight for sore Sicilian eyes. Me? I live alone here in town. It used to be that my younger brother Tom and I were practically joined at the hip, but that's all changed now. Oh, he's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worrying my poor mind. Oh, but of course, I've always loved that scamp to bits. For my part,
That's good to
I
know.
encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring.
Well, that was a
with
smart
Captain
idea.
Aurian now and then. But then those blasted Fabulous Five came into town.
Ah.
I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see them. That one meeting was all it took for Tom to run off with them on some mission to God knows where.
I see. Alright, I'm gonna save.
The lesser key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. The Encyclopedia Demonium. I know it by heart.
Armor, Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom.
Oh crap, I was supposed to talk to Cecil first, actually.
Careful, comrade. I think I sense a sorcerer in yonder shadows.
Oh. Hey! Cecil! Stop it.
You. Come closer then. Closer. My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. Yes, hello, Source Hunter. Our city welcomes you. My elf? What elf?
About yourself!
I am Cecil, Mayor of Sicile, and husband of the stately Cecilia. I've been the mayor here for decades, and I'm quite eager to see Sicile through these difficult times. Yes, very difficult times indeed. What? Oh, you mean Sicile. Very difficult
Oh
times
my
indeed.
God.
As though the death of Jake and by source magic no less weren't enough. We're also facing all sorts of Brutus and Cupidus. The undead have overrun all but one northern trade route, while the orcs are making a habit of savaging our beaches. That's not to mention that at the top of this whole caboodle, there's rumors of some new religious sect or cult or some such sticking its tendrils into the innocent, seven-fearing folks of Sicil. And,
You think there's 7?
while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves a magic relic I rather foolishly sought. A weapon called the Staff of Pergamon. Jake, murdered!
Okay.
Oh, yes. Yes, now I recall. Indeed. I could hardly believe it myself. The Council and I have certainly had our differences over the years, but old squabbles evaporate under such circumstances. Most of the townsfolk are certain Jake's wife Esmeralda is responsible. In fact, the Legion have taken her into protective custody to keep her safe from the mob. As you can imagine,
I guess I can't play over there.
Esmeralda for years. That business between her and the Duke of Ferrol was always a bit suggestive. But I've never had cause to suspect her of violence. Still, one never knows for sure.
That's true.
Right, bloke. Apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense, the whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Sicil is to spend a night or two at the King Crab Inn with Mrs. Counselor. What? The undead? Yes, for the past 2 years, those blasted skeletons have all but suffocated.
2
the
years,
city.
wow.
With all but one trade route overrun, Sicil's once torrential commerce has slowed to a pathetic trickle. Well, I do believe that's something your parents ought to have discussed with you long ago, Source Hunter. But I suppose if you really don't know, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least explain the basics.
That's not what I said.
When a lady and a fellow find each other rather nice, well, rather more nice, they occasionally, well, they...
That's not what I asked, but...
This is nonsense. I'm the mayor for the 7th sake. I can't be bothered to chat all day about the birds and the bees when Sicil's under siege by orcs, undead, and cultists. What of what now? Oh, you're speaking gibberish.
You're the one that said it.
Pergamon. Yes, yes. I was expecting a shipment of weapons, and among the cargo was this very powerful, very rare staff. I managed to place the order through means somewhat, atypical to a government official. Cecil proved an old fool, though, for the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damn thing has gone missing. I fear it may have fallen into the wrong hands, and I wonder if you could retrieve it for me. His name
We'll
is
see.
Conrad, captain of the Tide Splitter, a merchant ship still docked at the Sicil harbor. You can talk to him if you think it'd help, but I'd quite like to avoid getting the Legion involved, if you don't mind.
Of course.
The staff itself contains a shard of an ore, highly valued for its use in the weapons of war. I know use of the material to be forbidden, but I was desperate to do something to aid the townsfolk against the undead. That depends. What kind of berries are you interested in, exactly? The library. Yes, yes, you must have a visit. It's the gem of Sicil. Would you like to have a look? I'll escort you upstairs myself. Please yourself. Let me know if you change your mind. You won't Maxine? What in heaven's name are you? Oh, you mean the mongrel that's always skulking about the place.
Ouch.
I spent months trying to teach that worthless hound how to fetch, and it sat through every lesson looking at me as if I were an idiot. Man's best friend, my eye.
Maxine's a cat.
I'm more fond of cats myself. Someone wants to see Victoria dead? That cherub of the book? That seraph of the library? Outrageous! Hear you me. You must stop that dog by any means necessary. As mayor of Sicil, you have my permission to take drastic measures if need be. Oh yes, the Fabulous Five. Aren't they simply fantastic? I'm sure.
No, they're fabulous.
Especially with your expert hand lent to their cause. That machine Ahu built is an abomination. It must be stopped at all costs. I bet the wizard himself could provide some advice regarding how to destroy it. He's the mad scientist who crafted it after all. That depends. What? Ah, the light. Marvelous. Follow me then.
I knew that dark-dealing old man dabbled in source. To the gap.
What? Oh, yes. This library is the jewel in Sisyl's crown, the beacon of culture and learning in our fair city. My Victoria has every volume you could possibly imagine, and she's got every speck of information about this place packed into her brilliant brain. Yes, Victoria's come a long way, little bundle of claws and teeth I adopted so long ago. Ah, it brings a tear to my eye just seeing her here among her beloved books. What? Oh, yes, yes. I'll be on my way back downstairs now. Please introduce yourself. I know Victoria will be happy to make your acquaintance.
Alright, well, let's save again.
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh.
Ah,
I need something more advanced. The Pseudomonarch
nice.
Demonum, and the first
Cash
edition too.
Dinar.
Most
The brief
probably.
history of sorcery still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine.
Wow, she does seem like a good person at least.
Demonology for dumbbells.
The knight in see-through armor.
More advanced.
Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Steadticken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? In the name of Amun-Hor, I bid thee Tujda Getahal. Be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friendship is mine. I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Sisal toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise
Of
be
course.
Amun-Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that chance had put in his way.
On the positive side, that's good.
I was his own. This kindest of souls taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters. Thus, I became the city's librarian, a position I uphold with no small diligence and pride. Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can
Cool.
ask is that you return the books you borrow so that others may enjoy them too.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. We're gonna save again.
First edition too.
Kira Lizor. Oh, do pardon my language, my friend. But that is quite the startling revelation. So much sadness, anguish. Eglandir's tale is heartrending, though it seems that in the pursuit of retribution, he has himself become as great a ghoul as those that wronged him. Does he not see
Yeah, I
that
like her.
am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures, why must he make me the target of his imperishable hate? Whom have I ever harmed? I live for books, not brutality. So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Though, first let me say this. Ashizm bil kushum zunum. From my heart, I thank you for warning me. I thank you and I trust you. So pray, let me pose the question. What do you advise we should do?
Well, save again because...
My amulet? But it is Haxmaji, a sacred token that houses the presence of my ancestors. No, I cannot part with my talisman, the keepsake of my soul.
Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
Well, that's good.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The Encyclopedia Demonium.
I think we won.
Know it by heart.
When you put it like that, I guess I cannot say that it is. I do this very reluctantly, but fine. Have my talisman. May it fool the elf that would see me dead.
Thank you.
No new book to be discovered in this library.
Jageta, friend. Yes. Have you given him the hack's magie? Has he been tricked?
Wow, we're doing pretty good with rock, paper, scissors, aren't we?
I'm looking for. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
Volume 1, Volume 2.
Ready to advance, ready to defend. What can I do for you, comrade?
No new book.
Ask away, my friend, ask away. Always helps to know a thing or two about who's covering your back against the gnashing hordes, eh?
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. The
The knight
Pseudomonarchia
in see-through
Daemonum.
armor.
And the first
Princess
edition too.
Buttercup with the blushing
Most promising.
Stecken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh.
The knight
Oh yeah, that does remind me though.
Princess Buttercup with the blushing
The Encyclopedia Daemonium. I know it by
Esmeralda
heart.
does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
The Lesser Key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library?
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
The Lesser Key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. The Encyclopedia
Hoping someone
Daemonium.
special will be impressed by the way you wield that great heaving weapon.
Rack. What mayhem.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. Omnes autem mali daemonis.
Okay.
Quam.
Volume 1, Volume 2. But where has the third one gone? Shatsu.
What? What is this?
So this is interesting.
My musings. By Naga the Protector, they have the manners of boors, these boatmen of Sicil. Oh, but
I suppose.
perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken, for you hardly resemble the local fisher folk, which, incidentally, is a compliment of copious dimensions indeed. No, a source hunter. That is what you are.
Yes, I am.
A stalker of sorcery, a chaser of charms pernicious. In truth, I cannot go so far as to say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, for I take no pleasure in the company of man. But it may just be to our mutual advantage to join forces nonetheless.
I
will
suppose.
tell you my reasons, but it seems rather pointless to do so, seeing that quite clearly there is no room left in your band of adventurers.
Dude, I should be able to have them though.
A pity, really.
Hasn't she?
The Lesser Key of Sadakandra.
You say you will take me under your wing, but I see no feathers. Are you a child of the birds, as I am of the bears?
I meant that I would be.
In truth, this is a relief. Your world is made with rules I have not yet memorized. I am happy to have a friend. in
That's
such a
good.
place. And so the lonely babe was fed upon the wild mother's milk, and cast aside from humankind, he thrived among his mother's ilk. So says the saga of Thris. Do you know it? The wise
No.
wolf Amira raised the child Thris among her litter. So you see, I have good company. Thris the wolfson, and I the bear daughter. Ask
Okay.
freely, my friend. Your city is far more wild than Home Forest. In Home Forest, the rules are clear. In Home Forest, your strength and speed determine your fate. Here,
Suppose that makes sense.
Screech woman, no swifter than a mudworm, might confine you into a tiny cage, and one must wait for a kind stranger. Freedom. I have learned all the bird song that Jarrett could teach. I remembered every word. These tales have brought me much pleasure.
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more.
The remembering of the beasts is without lies. We know not to approach the wasp's nest because long ago one bear mother discovered its dangers. This she taught to her
I
cubs,
suppose.
and those cubs taught the next. We do not remember
That's neat, though.
Rito and the battle of the buzzing brutes. We remember only what is useful to us now. Rito will be forgotten. The beauty of the story will be forgotten. But the lesson will not. It is different between beasts and humans. I am lucky to enjoy both ways. Jarrett, wise Jarrett, taught me the bird songs of our people. If not for him, I would never have learned more than the beasts could teach me. A beast's life is to survive. A human's is to know. I am both beast and human, and so I must do both. He came to me when I was small. A fierce, wild one, yet unaware of the difference between the other cubs and herself. He called to me in a soft song. At first I thought him a great bird. We each reached out to the other. We found each other. Jarrett visited me often, and in time I learned his songs and more. When he built a small cabin within Home Forest, I hunted his food and fetched his water by day while he studied his books and his magics. By night, by the fire, he'd tell me tales of the world of people. Jarrett is my master and my friend, my teacher and myself. He teaches me and I care for him. I heard this was a place of many people, so here I came. I have seen more faces here in a day than I had seen in all the days of my life together. But I have not found the face I seek. Jarrett is missing. It is my duty to find him. That mystery is thick and ugly as a swarm of hornets. It started with a great disturbance in Home Forest. A terrible disease came in the night and turned the birds and beasts soft and foul as carrion while they still lived. I watched countless of my loved ones die, rotted from the inside. When I ran to Jarrett to tell him what I had seen, his reaction was strange. He had no answer. The next morning, Jarrett did not emerge from his room. I left him be, but after 3 days I grew anxious. I broke down the door and...
You broke down the door, nice.
Nothing.
Nothing. Yep.
Books, all but some scraps of parchment were gone. He was kidnapped, and all his research was taken with him.
Are you sure that he was kidnapped?
A letter among the scraps. I could not make out all the words, but I recognized the threat. Death coming for you. And the signature? Attenborough. I do not know the one called Attenborough, but I know that if I am to find Jarrett, I must start there. Whoever this Attenborough may be, I believe he or she may know where Jarrett has been taken. Fine, my friend, but I will stay far away from this screech woman. Perhaps among the crowd at the alehouse is best.
Smelly panties. Okay.
No, is the Source Hunter. And why? Simply because you hunt Source, and I, Jehan, hunt demons.
Jehan.
That quite often both of these pests frequent the same shadowy pools of infamy.
Unfortunately.
I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. Should I not, I'd have been decimated, body and soul, long since. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, but also in numbers. The calculus of wizardry I offer you, the might of the magician's mastermind. On one condition.
Oh.
That on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. Give me your word on this, and I'll weave you spells.
Sure.
A brief history of sorcery still
Agreed.
hasn't been written.
Nothing good ever came from bargaining with those devils anyway.
Most
This is true.
I see you are firm of purpose and thereby ready to descend. Descend into the madness that is sorcery, into the depths where demons dance. Gladly shall I follow you into the abyss. Onward, blood and triumph await.
Shatsu. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
Okay, I was like, where's Jahan?
The knight in see-through armor.
Oh, wow.
Cup with the blushing bottom. Sterntecken. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she? The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Sterntecken.
Yeah, that's what we'll use.
Propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
Oh, but no, I need that for other things, don't I?
Knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing.
Okay. We have to go back to the inn.
What can I do for you, Source Hunter? May they be pertinent, Hunter. I am not from any place anymore.
I have to ask for this first, though.
My quest leads me. Besides, the name would mean nothing to you. The glorious city in the glorious kingdom where I was born. I remember them well, the sandstone castles, hued like the very sun that batters their battlements without rest. I can see them still. The fountained gardens and halls of pearl-colored marble inlaid with gemstones set in shapes of plants and beasts. Yes, I can see them still, though when I try to focus on their details, like mirages, they dissolve upon approach. Time. It frays the foundations of memory. For 1,000 reasons, and for one especial. The 1,000 obvious ones are list with pleasure. The special one, that is my secret to keep. Hunter, I could find you cross-dressed under the spell of a dominant goblin, yet when next we'd meet there'd be no questions asked. I have my secrets. Undoubtedly, you have yours.
Okay.
They are ours to keep. One, their scourge taints the natural world. Two,
I suppose that makes sense.
their machinations irreversibly corrupt minds. Three, their perversions seek to end all beauty. Four, their schemes unhinge the fabric of space and time. Five,
Bot 4.
their presence distorts all intrinsic harmony.
Yeah, many hours pass before Jahan stops lamenting his reasons. You are very sorry indeed that you ask.
Do you now? Yours is this mistake to make, and yours is the opportunity to set it right. Until then, I shall be in the King Crab.
Gotcha.
Do I seem like heard any good tales, my friend? May the hunt continue!
Alright.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for...
Looking good. Guess someone else got here first.
Guess so.
One man's trash is another man's trash.
All right. Hmm.
The force of Maxos is within me!
Yeah, it's working well, isn't it?
Burn for me.
Yeah, that didn't quite work the way it was supposed to, did it?
Maxos is within me!
We will open up this chest at some point. Ooh. Let's read it. Your lips are as red as emeralds. Wow.
It's official. The Duke of Farrell is the worst poet in Rivellon.
In his defense, not much rhymes with murder.
True.
Greetings, Source Hunter. I don't mean to hinder your investigation, but I can't open this door for anyone who hasn't received Captain Aurian's explicit approval.
Oh, wow. Oh, I see. Alright, well, that did something. I don't even know why I'm doing this. It just keeps going anyway.
Here I wait for thee in the dark. But the stab shall bring the light. Minister to death.
Right.
That is what I want of thee. Have you made the orc feel the black and biting cold center towards
Sure.
the dangling grip of the greedy grey?
There you go, Victoria's amulet.
So it is. So it is. By Angus the Impaler's favourite.
Okie dokie.
You've done well by me. Oh, Ravager of Gazaldagar. The last of their line is dead. The house of Gandavon has been avenged. Sweet flowing blood. The quest of decay is at an end. My wealth is yours. My life is death's. By the hollow sockets of the void would I gather.
Okie dokie.
I bid thee and fond farewell.
Fun. Okay. We're not doing good, are we? All right.
What's with you, bipeds and beer? No better drink than milk.
That is true.
So there's the rub. I am but a stray, and she is the mayor's cat. Oh,
The mayor thinks he's a dog.
her, I do. She wants a tom of means, not privation. One who brings home the sardines and the occasional halibut. Would that I still had my collar. Such a marvel it was, as bejeweled as the night sky with precious stones, said to have once been worn by a far-off Maharaja's best hunting cheater. Like the king of all cats, I looked when I wore it. A gift bestowed upon me by a princess whom I had kept company during a long and perilous voyage.
Oh.
A precious band of gemstones, lost as I was tossed around by the waves like a ball in a game of catch. Among the waves it remains, I imagine. Worn perhaps by a crab who fancies himself a Caesar with it. If only I could be the Caesar again, and Maxine my Caesarina. By all means.
Aww. No, what I need is somebody to identify this stuff.
What do you have? I got white cheese, blue cheese, old cheese, new cheese.
Snake, wing of worm, brew and spice 'em, stir and churn. No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Hmm. Guess not. Guess they're just all a bunch of ship vendors.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence. Excuse me, this is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's best off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. Don't dither long. These men are slipping ever closer toward...
Yeah, I bet.
Please, these won't have long.
Ah, there you are.
If one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold. Oh, a source hunter. Imagine.
Yes.
Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered. Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartier specimen, I'm sure the order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Huh? Me?
That scares me.
Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I can jog your memory.
You can.
Cure the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicile of late. Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself.
Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Both dead, and so needlessly. It's a terrible stain on my record, and ought never to have happened on my watch.
My bad. Right again.
Where's the young Esmeralda? Aye, so would that like the king among the waves that remain.
Tell me.
Well, hello there.
Yeah, I entered that wrong, so we're gonna fix that issue, hopefully.
Which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case.
But
Okay.
if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by oh, no.
Yeah, we got that.
Me? Why, it was I. Not to mention that it's bad. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps she's got a she claim. Utter rubbish, well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions.
Why is the screen shaking?
I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor, terrible loss that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere men.
Okay.
Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
Right.
That relic of Evelyn's the so-called healing crystal. I've seen one like it before, and by the Patriarch's pockets. It's a relic of Source. One look at that gem will be enough to convince me it's no force of good, but a bloodstone through and through.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your
Soothing a corpse's troubled mind.
So I'm the hunter who cried wolf, am I? Well, I only call 'em as I see 'em, and whether or not you choose to benefit from my considerable experience is your own matter. But hear you me, comrade. It sounds an awful lot like bloodstone to me. And if I'm right, I wouldn't trust Cyseal's so-called healers any more than I'd trust a pyromancer on a wooden boat.
Understandable there.
Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence. Excuse me, this is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death in this way?
I don't know, but we'll find out.
Apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels I've been racking my brain
Yeah, I actually know that.
trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north, that is. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Sicil, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less.
Just like a cop.
Sicil is familiar with grinning Stephen, and as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace of the wound. Needless to say, I was astounded. But it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously. You are? I thank you 1,000,000 times for your help. Who have you decided should receive the healing stone?
Those men hardly sound long for this world. What's taking Tenderfoot so long?
Yes. Let's return a healthy Stephen to his family as soon as possible.
Stephen, it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad
romantic.
Saved one man, but my heart breaks for the other.
Agreed.
No, this is highly abnormal. What is this? This lightning.
Oh.
I know it's here somewhere. I really want to ruin
Duh.
Too much
I wish there were enough stones for both of us.
Okay, that was weird.
Bidding you farewell, friend.
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, I have no idea what to make of it. That's
Yeah, neither do I.
reaction you caused. Blue lightning from a healing stone. I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction.
I don't think it did.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Well, she certainly possesses a critical... I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Another family restored, thanks to the healing arts. I'm glad to hear that Stephen will be returning to the comfortable life he's built. Thank you for your help in this matter.
I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm beyond grateful.
Yeah.
I feel no pleasure in bidding you farewell, friend.
She'll realize soon enough that her little party tricks hardly make...
Well, that was weird.
I give milk. I give wool. And what do I get in return? One way or another, they always try to fleece me. Especially that Evelyn. She's out to get me. I know it. Meh.
Thanks, I could use a bit of a trim.
Soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
Hello again. Terribly sorry, Source Hunter.
It's okay. I was trying something that failed. Really? Hmm. Reginald's spare key. Indeed.
If you think black sheep are weird, try weird sheep.
I bet. Alright, so I'm looking for Cedric.
Fantastic! Bravo! Bravo!
Hear the stage calling you.
Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Oh, that's Stage Master Chancellor. There's Cedric. But first...
I've just got back from the realm of fairy. It was lovely, but I should have brought my winter boots.
Aw, adorable.
You there. Sit.
Dang it.
Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm
Oh, besmile. Oh my goodness gracious.
I'm playing to an empty audience. Don't
Yes, you are.
No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing, all-dancing, all-sensational darling of the town. People came from
Now?
far and wide just to witness my amazing act. When
What are you now?
came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head. Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be my main competition. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is ruining what used to be an art. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion.
Must be the friend or something then.
He inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief.
Well, I lost that chicken. That's nice. There it is.
Equality and brotherhood for all. Will turn the wicked cleaver of decapitation upon you. Revolution is
Oh.
coming.
Are you the bird that I saved because I was nice to you? And this is what you do to me?
Fantastic! Bravo!
looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there stands the world-famous Reginald.
You're his friend, aren't you?
Better check it out if you don't want to miss the time of your life. Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meager gold coin or two, I can take in this first-rate entertainment all day long. Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I'll just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Cecile hears me. Cecile wants to see what the fuss is all about. And let me tell you,
Yeah, they're gonna learn eventually.
Today, I think, a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
My word!
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elva, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the had a great thirst for colour.
There's a talking head. That's scary.
There, take a seat. Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat with an original tale from Stefan, the talking severed head. I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andevale. This fantastic
Right.
Catch the act while you can. This show will only remain in Cecile as long as there are Legion soldiers to entertain. Ha! Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears until they cried for a replacement. Enter
Yeah.
Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wasting their energies cringing at a fool with a depressed rabbit in a borrowed hat. That's right.
Wow.
Talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just one more, and just one more. It's quite a story how I found him, too.
Let's hear the story.
Curio by some rather sensational means.
Okay, I asked to hear it, not...
I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Cecile's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius. Though the chest was stuck fast,
Alright.
I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the ancient rock. I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands, but then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from nowhere. In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and leprotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live. Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, I summoned all my strength to slash a great gash in the creature's gut. Freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quickly as I could, first to the surface and then to the shore. It was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange.
Wow. I thought you were going to find it in there.
Prowess in the arts of entertainment. Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that
True.
warmer has increased my profits by 60%, simply by showing a little honest appreciation for our show. Hard times, Lord Pinchpenny?
Today, I
Back
think...
for more, I see. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. What with Stefan rattling off
Strange fellow, isn't he?
Hello, little friend. Oh, don't be afraid. What's your name?
Oh, okay.
By the seven, what a tale!
She's a weird one, but I like her.
Ah, a familiar face. Come, watch the show. I promise it'll take your mind off beheading baddies, or whatever it is you do with all those muscles. A person whose sole job is to praise the performance and stir a crowd. A genius invention. No wonder Reginald has had such success. I knew his
Right.
couldn't have outshone mine on its merits alone. Please, you must hire him for me. Imagine the scowl on that conman's face when my rightful audience returns to me. A must-see event.
I won't disagree with you on that one.
Performers, showmen, show all of them. Scythiel, what you're made of.
Come on,
come all, and see the amazing
Bravo! Yeehaw!
Scythiel's only sentient.
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. Well, I don't see why I should. Reginald and I have grown rather friendly, you know? And in any case, it'll be hard to pull myself away from this fantastic show. Fantastic!
Ooch.
Come one, come all, and see the amazing singing Stefan. Scythiel's only sentient severed head.
Boy, I am really good at this rock, paper, scissors on this one, aren't I?
Well, I guess it's been long enough since I've stretched my wings a bit, and it ain't so far of a flight now, is it? Maybe I will have a peek at what Cedric's up to over there.
My word. The king had a great
word.
of colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm.
Fantastic!
Today, I think, a king. The
My
great
word.
Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Fantastic!
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. All the grass will have
Right.
to the end. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient
No, you had to.
head in Scythiel. My audience sings my praises from hill and dale. Psst, you're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven.
Oh.
Help me, I've been kidnapped. Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything.
Strange! You appear to be my only client. Did the whole of Scythiel eat some bad chicken, or what? I knew that fool could never have garnered so much as a guffaw on his own merits. I'll see to this matter immediately.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, it won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it then.
Alright, so let's see what we got. No. I want leadership. Alright, let's see if we can figure this out.
Tis I, Reginald the Illusionist. I said, tis I, Reginald the Illusionist.
You're an asshole. Okay, let's see. Apple juice. Ooh, nice.
One coin or two, noble spirit? One coin or two? Oh, I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. It turns out losing it all has its own share of benefits. Ah, a fool once was I, and ever seeking greater satisfaction than that which I already enjoyed. In my folly, I sought the counsel of those notorious Watcher statues on the western cliffs. Their guidance, the small fortune I might have had, but certainly granted me humility. I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools advice to the fools who sought them, but somehow I believed that I was the exception.
Yeah, you never do that.
I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly possessions, all my worldly possessions, and became a great figure of piety and humility. Fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety, only the sudden weight of my own idiocy upon my very soul.
Yeah, I would too. Here, take 10.
The soul of Astartes smile upon you, kind stranger. Thank you, kind one. Have some pity.
Okay, Esmeralda's. Oh.
So, those statues told him he'd have to renounce his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader, did they? Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw my things on a pyre in the hope that the stench of my burning trousers will please an ill-defined spirit.
Right. Alright, now we gotta find Esmeralda's again. That within itself is gonna be a little more problematic. Oh, I don't even know where I'm going, technically. Oh, well. That ironically worked out extremely well.
You there! Cut it out!
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
I bet.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
I bet.
A book about setting up the perfect crime.
Esmeralda has interesting taste in literature.
Yeah, I need to check out that Perfect Murder book. Huh. Okay. Romantic, independent, altruistic.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs.
Let's read.
To imagine something would happen to you.
Okay.
Oh, but what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me, for I might faint.
Yeah, let's make sure. Ooh. Okay. Let's check it. Oh, that's cool.
So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion should tragedy befall you on the battlefield?
I suppose so. But seeing that I'm neither married nor attached in any way, I've never bothered to.
Polite, handsome, and single.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone in the dark.
I feel like it is solved.
My, what a strong and handsome officer you are, kind Septimus.
Oh, not for Medora, though. For Saul.
Many a battle, am I right? In fact, I bet you're a real war hero.
Oh, I'm no hero, Esmeralda. I'm just doing my duty. For the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul.
Yeah, I feel like that is Saul's, though.
Never fear, my lady. As long as I'm around, no hair on your haloed head shall be harmed.
Yeah, see? Let's read it first. Who? A rope. Outdated metal helmet.
Assure me, dear Septimus, that you haven't been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine what happened to you.
I mean, I can't see.
But what if you were to be ambushed, caught unawares? Oh, catch me, for I might faint.
Yeah, of course.
So tell me, Septimus, would your wife or sweetheart be compensated by the Legion should tragedy befall you on the battlefield?
I guess that might be the correct thing then.
Polite, handsome, and single. Don't go anywhere tonight, Legionnaire. I'd be afraid alone in the dark.
Alright, let's check the baskets. Alright, I think this is a as good place possibly can. Alright, so next time we'll explore this cellar, see what and if we can find, and continue to try to find out the counselor's murderer, as well as do what? Oh yeah, try to save time and space itself. But until then, I'm going to go and take a break and eat. When we come back, let me go ahead and be on the right person. When we come back, some unwritten Book of Unwritten Tales 2. But until then, remember, you can catch all my live streams archived on my YouTube channel. Should be somewhere in the link around Twitch. It is also the home of 1,500 plus videos, including Rose Play, highlights from the streams themselves, and other Rose Play shows. But until then...